All right, so this one's a new one for us. This is the DD-EFI digital display. We obviously got this from our friends over at DIY Autotune. So I've got it hooked up for just basically ground and power. So now, to be fair, there's a battery constant wire that we don't have. So I think that's going to affect the wake up protocol. So we're gonna go ahead and power it on, and let's just see how long it actually takes. So we have power now, and let's see how long this actually takes to come online here. And again, like I said, there's a good chance that the battery 12-volt wire here is going to affect how it wakes up. I don't know for a fact, but maybe. So it's got a pretty sweet start screen though. Not a huge fan of fire, especially when we're talking about cars.
Is he keeping that gauge pod on the top? Is he trying to like put the clock back there?
I have no idea.
Well, I'll have that wire ran through there right now.
Ooh, touchscreen stuffs. Ooh. So we had to take a lot of stuff off to be able to get the cluster in here. And we also had to trim a ton of stuff. So if you guys are doing this install, this whole corner here gets cut out, and you got to do the same on the other side. Then there's this whole plastic trim over here that also gets cut out. But it is in, so we've got our keyboard hooked up to it, and we're gonna try to see if we can get this thing set up here, because you do have to connect the actual cluster to Wi-Fi first. So just like the Z32 here, we've got an alternator jumper. So we're basically going to jump these two wires here, this red light green and green light red, and that's going to allow us to get the alternator running. So we're kind of at a stop at the moment. There's a few other things that I could wire up, but so the problem that we have here is our digital inputs. So according to the DD-EFI manual, digital inputs are only 12 volts. So they're triggered via 12 volt. So we've got a couple indicators, you know, the e-brake indicator, ABS, low oil, and things like that. Those are all ground triggered. So I've sent them an email to see if there's a way of going about it to get ground triggers working. So in my mind, the only way I can get a trigger to work by flipping polarity is by using relays. But imagine having to wire up, you know, 3 or 5 relays to get all the indicators out. So I sent her an email just to see if there's an easier way of doing it. But so we're kind of at a pause here at the moment. So I've got the alternator jumper put in, I've got the vehicle speed sensor wired up, I've got fuel level wired up. And so now, until I can get the answer on the digital stuff, we're going to be kind of at a pause. Now I can go ahead and move over to the ECU side to wire up CAN bus, but that honestly won't take that long. So I'll do that really quick here, and then I'm going to reinstall the dash and then continue setting it up. So we got part way through on setting up the dash, but we didn't like fully get everything done. So just because that one, the Mustang was low on battery power because we had been testing it. And my dumbass forgot that the Power Probe was hooked up. So the Power Probe was hooked up like literally hours on end, and so it's kind of drained the battery. So I've got it on the charger currently. So anyways, so we are making a little bit of progress, a small little bit of a stall here, but nothing crazy. Okay, so we got the dash working. This is a 2018 digital dash setup. So fuel level kind of works. So we recorded it on the factory cluster, and it was 1/4 of a tank. This is actually reading correctly roughly, but it's, I don't know, maybe it's a little bit off. Not a big deal. So we've got this all set up here. We still got to set up the actual mile per hour, which we could either use the GPS module, but I currently have it tapped into the factory speed sensor settings. So all the firmware's updated, all that's done. And so basically now we're just waiting literally to hear back from those guys. And then I've got to test the actual turn signals and stuff like that. So let me test the turn signals out really quick here. So we got our left and our right. And let's see if we can get high beams activated. There you go. So it is hard to kind of see just because that the protective film is still over top of it. But it is in fact all working. All right, so we got the DD-EFI dash booting up here, and you'll see that the fuel level is basically non-existent, and we can confirm that because the car doesn't start. So it tries to start, but it doesn't. Pretty sure it's out of fuel. Andrew's grabbing a couple more gallons of fuel. We're gonna fill this thing up and then make sure that it starts. So I got a handful of tools here. What we're going to do now is we've got to do some wiring on the back of the gauge. So the gauge only allows us to have, it only has one 5-volt and one sensor ground wire. And so what we've got here is we're going to extend those wires out, and we're going to go ahead and crimp it. I've got to go grab the crimp connector, but we got wire strippers, and we had a piece of heat shrink floating around here somewhere that I've got to find. And so anyways, we're going to go ahead and extend those wires out so we have multiple ones, and we can hook up our oil pressure and our oil temp here. So now, if doing this right here is daunting to you, DD-EFI does sell a breakout board, and we are actually going to use this. Instead of doing that, I actually found out that we had ordered this, so I looked through the box again because I felt like we had ordered it. But the way DD-EFI makes this is actually really slick. So basically you have your 5-volt and ground coming off the gauge cluster, and these are all your inputs. There's only 5 analog inputs here, and if you can look here on this side, it shows you sensor input 1, input 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then of course the fuel level. Now fuel level we've already got hooked up, so we're going to leave that one alone. That's what this F is. We're going to leave that as is. We're not going to mess with that, and then we're just going to wire everything in through these terminals. So I'm going to pull out the little pigtail for this, and then we'll go ahead and we'll start wiring it up. So we got all of our sensor wires here, and then here's our 5-volt and sensor ground. So what we're going to do now is we're simply going to just unscrew the terminals on this side right here of the DD-EFI breakout board, and then we'll wire them into here, and then this gives it all one little nice little box here with built-in pull-up resistors. Pull-up resistors is a little bit more than what I want to get to, but certain sensors need pull-up resistors and some sensors do not. And so DD-EFI put these nice little switchboards here to be able to add or remove said resistors. So we're gonna go ahead and get this wired up, and then we'll hook up the Low Dollar Motorsports oil pressure sensor here that we have. And so the thing about oil pressure as well is that there is actually a dedicated pin on the DD-EFI for it. So we'll get that all wired up, and then of course, like I said, we've got our oil temp here, and we just got to figure out where we want to put our oil temp through onto this board, and then that'll be that. Okay, so like I said before, we got this all wired up, but like I said before, sensor 5 is specifically for oil pressure. So we're going to go ahead and hop to sensor 5, and you can see even in the breakout board, sensor 5 is labeled specifically for oil pressure. So now I've got to shorten down this wire because it is massively long. But I also need to figure out the wire schematic here for the oil pressure sensor as well. All right, as you can see, with the car started, we've got oil pressure now. It's hooked up, so all that is working now. And so what we got to do now is hook up the rest of our sensors, but it's good to go. So give it a couple revs. As you can see, we've got oil pressure building up, and it's moving along with the revs. Okay, so now that we know that oil pressure is working, we can go ahead and hook up the rest of our gauges. So we're gonna basically wire up the oil temperature gauge, since that's the only thing that's currently hooked up at the only other sensor that's working at the moment. And then we should be able to go from there. Now, temperature sensors, on the other hand, though, are only 2-wire sensors. They're what's called a resistance sensor. So it's only the signal output and sensor ground that only gets hooked up to this. So 5-volt gets emitted. Then I actually have to do some changes in the software to get that all set up. So it's just a standard GM style sensor, and we've got our sweet USB keyboard here, and we'll make the changes on the software to get that to work as well. So if you look at the very top there, it tells you which dip switches need to be on and off. So we're using a GM style temp sensor. So we've got the dip switch 2 is active and then dip switch 1 is off. So you've got to, even though the instructions are read one way, the dip switches are the other. So you got to flip that around. So that side is done here, and now we're going to key everything on, and we are going to set it up within the software on the dash itself. So this may be somewhat hard to see, but in this upper right hand corner, you'll see that there's a little drop down tab. You're going to switch that over to DD-EFI because it can switch between the ECU and the gauge cluster. So we're going to go to DD-EFI is where we're going to go. Then we're going to go over to our Pro Dash inputs here, select our input, which should be 4. Let me double check that right quick. Okay, it is wired up to sensor 4. So we're going to go over there and click on sensor 4. And from here, we're going to name what our input is. But first, I'm going to change this to temperature. Go ahead and put that there. I'll put some values of what normal fuel temperature is going to be. And then we're going to select our temperature sensor, which is a GM sensor. So let me go ahead and set this all up, and then I will show you guys the results. Okay, so now we've got oil temperature reading, and that's about right. Inside the shop, it's about 60 to 70 degrees, and we just started this thing up. So oil temperature seems to be right there. So I think at this point, we're good to go. We still got to hook up our coolant temp sensor, which isn't hooked up yet, and a few other things, but for the most part, it's working how it should be, and that is good enough. Okay, so since we were here, we went ahead and calibrated speed. Speed is actually coming off of the MS3 ECU, so it's in gear right now on the lift. I'm going to rev it up. So you can see the speedometer is moving. I don't know if gear position is set up, but let's find out. Okay, gear position is not set up, but speed is, so that's okay though. We can go through the ECU and get that all set up.